Hey loving soul, welcome back to the show. I'm so happy you're here. Let's upgrade your love life right now. This episode follows on from the last episode where we spoke about the very important 5 essential roots of a healthy relationship. Now, in this episode, we're going to understand how to maintain those roots and ensure that your relationship blossoms and grows into exactly what you deserve and what you want it to be. So if you haven't heard the first episode, I highly recommend you just quickly go back and have a listen now, because this episode will make much more sense. Now we're across these 5 roots. It's really important we know how to maintain them so that when you have attracted the partner that's in alignment with your best and highest life, you can go ahead and keep that relationship healthy and thriving. Before we get to it, if you haven't already joined our beautiful free Facebook community, go ahead and do that now. You can find it at bit.ly, which is bit.ly/breaking toxic relationship patterns. I'll put the link in the show notes below. Me and your sisterhood of like-minded, supportive cheerleaders is waiting for you. Come ahead and join. It will always be free and it will always be full of love and exactly the right mindset you need to hear to attract the love you truly deserve into your life. That's what we're here for. All right, so let's dive in. Have past love relationships brought you anxiety and stress? Maybe you've hit a wall with dating, like, why are all the good ones taken? Even though you're a go-getter, does true love feel unattainable and outside of your control? Hey, I'm Remy, clinical hypnotherapist and my master coach. In this podcast, you will learn how to heal heartache and move on from your past relationships, nurture your inner child, master your mind to work for you instead of against you, live an authentic life that's in alignment with your truth, regulate your nervous system, understand the dynamics of healthy relationships, and attract the loving relationship you truly deserve. 14 years ago, I went from being a codependent, anxious serial dater and marrier of the wrong men until I finally realised I had a lot of work to do. Well, I made it my mission to learn everything I needed from the world's best and did the work, and very quickly met the man I've been waiting a lifetime for. These days, I've got the family and life I dreamed of and use my 3-step framework to help other women claim the same power over their lives. I'm here to expand your belief of what's possible for you. You deserve unshakable self-confidence and a relationship that feels right on every level. It's time to upgrade your subconscious and start some real-life magic happening. So nestle on in and let's get to it. Last time, we took a deep dive into the 5 roots of a healthy relationship, the 5 elements that must be present in a relationship to make it healthy and strong. And it also serves us in amazing ways. It helps really identify red flags, to know the health of a relationship, to understand whether a partner is one who we should be pursuing or one who we should be kicking to the curb. And these nutrients, and forgive me for this gardening pun, I'm not much of a gardener, but I do like how the organic gardening theme plays into relationships, because in all honesty, they do grow a lot like trees and gardens, kind of. But these nutrients really help the roots to grow strong. And without the nutrients, honestly, the roots die. To recap on the roots, they are trust, respect, congruent values and beliefs, friendship, and attraction. So those are the 5 very important roots that every healthy relationship must have to thrive. And when it comes to the 4 nutrients we need to nurture and nourish these roots, they actually have a really handy acronym, CHEC. Check yourself. They are communication, good humour, empathy, and curiosity. Interestingly, they often come more easily in the early honeymoon stage of a relationship, which is referred to as cathexis. In this stage of a relationship, everyone is really putting their best foot forward. They are feeling regulated, their cups are full, they're enjoying this first phase of attraction. It feels new and exciting. The other person is still an unknown mystery. Uncharted waters are being explored. It feels really fun. And in this stage of relationship, it's really easy to have all these wonderful attributes. It's really easy to talk openly and have that communication flowing. It's easy to have good humour when your cup is full. It's easy to feel empathetic towards the other person. And we generally are genuinely curious about the other person. We want to get to know them and make sure that they are the right person for us and whether they are literally worth our time and our energy. To be honest with you, I became really aware of the importance of these relationship nutrients once I was married to my husband and we had our first child. The dynamics had changed so much. I realised that I really needed to up my skills of asking for help. And he felt sort of lost and frustrated because he didn't know what to do to help me. And I wasn't very good at asking for help. I just got frustrated as well. It was all very intimidating and exhausting, chucking hormones and sleep deprivation, etc. While it was very, very beautiful, we really had to knuckle down the hatches and grow. And the way we did this was by nurturing these 4 nutrients. They were so helpful. And when I look back at it now, what I didn't realize then is that it was actually a real blessing because I actively prioritized practicing these tools, and it ended up making our relationship stronger than ever. And not only that, but they're great life skills that really help in every single area of life where it's necessary to build strong, healthy relationships. Okay, so let's take a deeper dive into each of these 4 nutrients. The first one is communication. So important because as much as we like to believe that people can read our minds, they actually can't. And this skill of communicating respectfully and being transparent and authentic, it really strengthens every single root. It's so important. Without communicating, your partner doesn't know what you need, doesn't know what you're thinking, really doesn't know you at all. And it helps to prevent issues from arising in the first place. And when challenges do come up, you'll be able to navigate them in a much healthier way and resolve them much more quickly once you have practiced really communicating well. So this means communicating not necessarily with emotion, but with integrity, which is like, for example, if you have an issue, saying, "This is my issue and it makes me feel like this," which is a much healthier way of remaining regulated rather than dysregulating, which usually only leads to our partner feeling dysregulated as well. And when this happens, neither party is able to think straight or use their executive functioning and their prefrontal cortex to think coherently, and it all ends up escalating, which is really not what we wanted to achieve at all, because the issue just persists instead of being resolved in an evolved, helpful, quick, loving way. Okay, on to good humour. Now, this is essential to maintain the ecosystem of our relationship. If you like, it keeps the soil at the perfect pH. It really helps to dance through life lightly. Things just tend to go our way much better, and life is just way more enjoyable with a pinch of sugar. We're here to experience joy after all. We are literally built to thrive on feeling joy. Our body enjoys endorphins, not stress hormones, so we want to keep it feeling good as much as possible. Now, I'm not condoning bypassing your true feelings about something for one moment. Absolutely not. What I'm talking about is dealing with those issues that come up without getting caught in the emotion. So we're dealing with them in a loving way that feels really good for us. And also we're spreading our light all over the world and all over our partner, so they end up feeling better. Everyone feels loved. Everyone remains once again regulated, and nobody spirals into a dysregulated mush of emotions that really don't help us. And a lot of the time it's a pattern, I think, that we really get stuck in, if not from childhood, really, or it could be something that we've learned from our parents, or a pattern that has kept coming up in our life and just a way that we've learned to cope when something doesn't go our way. But reacting with heightened negative emotion really doesn't serve us at all. Even in the most negative of circumstances, it's still possible to maintain a good humour about things and make everything more enjoyable and more bearable. And it really ends up helping us to feel better. Now, my love, if you have a sneaking suspicion that sometimes you might err on the side of negativity, as we all do sometimes, but the next time you catch yourself trending in that way, just stop for a second, give yourself some love, and just ask yourself what it would take to get out of that state and in a more happy, positive state. Maybe it would be just stopping what you're doing and putting on some music and having a dance party, for one. Or maybe it's going for a walk or a run or doing a little bit of exercise, just like, even 20 push-ups or running on the spot for a bit. Or maybe it would be something like watching a few funny memes on Instagram or something like that without getting sucked down some Instagram hole for hours. But whatever it takes to pick you up and change your energy, because the amazing thing about being human is that we always have the ability to choose our state. Even if we don't believe that's true, it really, trust me, is. It takes a little bit of work at first because it does take a bit of effort and our brains don't like effort. But when we start doing it and we see how much it works and we're motivated to do it, it actually becomes second nature to start picking yourself up in this way. And you'll find that magically things start unfolding in a much more positive, wonderful way for you. All right, on to our third nutrient, which is empathy. So empathy is not to be confused with sympathy, which feels condescending and takes power away from your partner. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, whereas sympathy is feeling sorry or pity for someone. Can you see the difference there? Empathy is attempting with good faith to see someone else's perspective, or at least respecting their differences, while continuing to hold them in high esteem with respect and grace. It's a beautiful way to be, and everybody loves being treated with empathy. It makes them feel heard and appreciated and valued. And we usually do it without thinking with a new partner, but sometimes it can wane away when we're with somebody for a while. So it's really important to pick up on when we're losing a little bit of empathy for someone and to restore it again consciously. And on to the fourth nutrient, which is curiosity. We all love to feel listened to, that the other person really cares about us. And the best way to do that is to ask questions and be curious. Be interested enough to want to understand their perspective fully. It really makes a huge difference, and it models beautifully how you want to be treated as well, which, to be honest with you, goes for all these nutrients. When we model them, our partner instinctively learns how to treat us the same way as well. Also, by getting to know your partner really well and being curious about them, it maintains the connection and ensures that you stay in touch with them as they change and grow throughout the years of your relationship, because we all change over the years. The magical thing about these 4 essential nutrients is that when you consistently bring these nutrients to a relationship, as long as the 5 roots are present and strong, the relationship will thrive, allowing you to enjoy your partnership and continue on your own journey of growth through life. Your relationship doesn't have to be something that you worry about too much. You can just enjoy it and keep adding to it in this way that feels really good. So it doesn't become an effort anymore. It becomes a beautiful habit that you absolutely passionately love in a really deep and meaningful way. The cool thing is, these 4 nutrients, communication, good humour, empathy, and curiosity, are really important parts of every single relationship we have in life. Even if you're not in a romantic relationship, you can still practice honing these skills and see how it benefits your life. And honestly, it lights the world up around you too. I know that being consciously aware of these 4 nutrients will really add sparkle to your everyday, and the universe works in our favour when we act out of love in these ways. You might find that you're astounded at the bounty it brings you. If you have any questions or you'd like to share your experiences in the Facebook group, please come along and do it. Yes, we would love to hear from you. The link is in the show notes below. Now, for many of you listening to this podcast, over the coming weeks when the episodes are released, this will be the blueprint you need to overcome your limiting beliefs and attract that beautiful, healthy relationship that you've always wanted. Having said that, if you feel like you need one-on-one help to maybe resolve some unconscious blocks or trauma you've experienced, or looping thoughts or anxiety that you can't quite get unstuck from, it would be my absolute honour to work with you to overcome and resolve them. I work in a slightly different way to regular talk therapy. We don't just talk through your feelings and problematic events. We actually resolve them and process them in your subconscious so that you are completely at peace with them. So if you'd like to feel more expansive and free to move forward towards your best and highest life, book in for a pre-consultation call at www.herloveupgrade.com/book. And I would be absolutely delighted to hear from you. I hope you've enjoyed the mind update in this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you, and I cannot wait to be back in your ears again next episode. In the meantime, take care. Bye, lovely soul. You should be so proud of this courageous, incredible journey you are on, and I'm so happy to be here supporting you to say goodbye to toxic relationships and claim the wonderful life and love you truly deserve. If you have a friend who you think needs to hear today's episode too, why not spread the love and share it with them? Sending you so much love in abundance. Until next time.